almost done.
To the Rebel Alliance Briefing Room Podcast. We are here to podcast about anything and everything Star Wars with you. Please visit our website where you can play current and past episodes. That's https://RABR.KaileJohansson.us. That's RABR.KaileJohansson.us. On the left-hand side is a navigation menu. You can use this to learn how to load the Rebel Alliance Briefing Room podcast on your Android or Apple phone and tablet. And we have direct links to our podcast on Apple and Google Podcasts. Please participate by connecting to our social media, answering questions of the week, or submitting feedback directly from the site. Again, all of these are available at the Rebel Alliance Briefing Room website at RABR.KAILEJOHANSEN.US. And now, it's time to talk Star Wars.
Yay, Star Wars.
I am Kyle John Johansson, and this is Andrew Scott Sutton. Say hello.
It's Rick. It's not Andrew. Andrew is sleeping. Well, no. He's probably doing other things with his family issues he's having. We will let him talk about that later. So today we're reviewing Star Wars Bad Batch Season 3, Episode 3. It's called Shadows of Tantiss. Tantiss, which is, as we know, the planet that Hemlock is on with Omega and Crosshair and Emerie, Karr. All the fun people are there, right? Oh, and the Emperor shows up this time. Ooh, oh, whoops. That was a spoiler alert. That was a spoiler. Sorry. Yeah, so we've got all that fun coming. And I wanted to mention again, Rick had talked about in one of the episodes about donating. If you'd like to do that, you can. If anybody's interested in that, just let me know through our feedback channels. We can do that. The cost of this podcast is very minimal right now, so but if we get people to donate, we may give away stuff like stickers and t-shirts and stuff. I'm not giving away any of the Funko Pops, but I'll give away some other stuff.
Well, if you get a duplicate, maybe you could.
Maybe. I do actually have one duplicate somewhere. I can't remember where it is. It's the exact same number and everything. And it might be a Boba Fett. But anyway, that's one of the things we're going to do today is watch a unboxing of a Funko Pop that I ordered. And this is the third one. And it'll be exciting, right, Rick?
Yes. Can't wait.
Nice and short usually is what they are too. So let's see. Here we go. That's the screen. Share sound. You can see it now, Rick. There it is.
That one's upside down.
Yeah, it's upside down. Maybe it's because it's a different box, but we'll see.
Did you just
another one? It's my trusty stabby tool. Letter opener.
Danger!
Need to bleed sometime. All right. Step side.
Ooh.
This one's kind of small. This one's not as big as the other boxes. It's never been opened either. Box, right? Yeah, it's different. Oh, it's tucked in another box. Look at this. They're trying to trick us. It's hard to get out too.
Those dirty rascals.
I'm not going to read what it says yet. Don't want to spoil it, so let's open it. Oh, look at that. Oh, there she is. Who is it? It's Morgan.
Morgan Elizabeth.
Not Elizabeth. Lisbon. All right. Yeah, 684. Remember that number again. Yeah, 684.
Morgan.
Side. 684. 84. There's the collection again. 683, 684, 85, 86, 87, 88.
Balin was 88. Okay. X84. This is the whole picture where she doesn't have any weapons on her. I wonder if they'll release another one with some weapons, She had the witchy sword thing. And
I spy with my little eye.
Anyway, there's our latest unboxing.
What did you see,
What?
Rick?
Nice. All right. Thanks.
I spied with my little eye a little blue guy.
There was a blue guy there, yes.
Hmm.
And honestly, that might have been the video that didn't play.
Oh.
I'm not sure. I can't remember exactly which order it was in, but
Blue he is.
he might be there
He might be.
in future episodes of this podcast. You might see an unboxing hands. Yeah. So that means today, again, Bad Batch season 3, episode 3, Shadows of Tantiss, and we don't have a good cast listing of this one because I didn't take pictures yet. But to Rick's point, I'm going to queue it up live and we're going to look at it live, sort of. I'm going to read it. You won't be able to see it. But if you give me a second or two, I'll get that queued up. I should have done this in advance, but I just thought of it. So actually, Rick mentioned it earlier, but I forgot about it until now. And we're going to pick Star Wars.
Because you're getting old.
Well, I heard you're getting old too, Mr. 50.
Just turned 21. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
This is all die. All these little streaks, it's all die.
Oh, can you hear that? That was loud. That was the stereo in here.
Hey, ugly man. Hey!
What?
Guy.
You know, it looks to me, Rick, like I fell asleep at the last part of the show too, because I don't remember that part.
I haven't
Okay.
seen the third episode, so
Well, you're
Did
here
I-
at the wrong time then, because we're getting ready to talk about the third episode.
well, I don't care. Let's talk about it.
Oh, that guy's scary. He was on the last episode. I saw him.
Hold on. I'm trying to get to these credits. Whoa, it went too far.
Dude, what are you doing, man? Where's your script?
I don't have. I'm not prepared.
We're on the fly today. We had technical difficulties. All is well.
So Rick,
Yeah, my
now that I'm old, my heart doctor has me in thigh high compression, both legs.
Oh yeah.
he's
Yeah,
wearing his wife's stockings.
Well, that's okay nowadays. I hear.
this sucks. Well, not really. My legs actually feel good.
I was gonna say. I tell you what, it was nice when I wore that freaking thigh high one. You could definitely tell a difference when you didn't wear it.
So
I'm sure.
I may just
You
leave
were-
Ron sleep in it. Nah,
I slept in mine. I wore mine like 2 or 3 days in a row. You're supposed to take it off, and I'm like, no way, man. That was awesome.
It
I
was
got.
too good.
I ripped my first pair. I said, fuck. So I went back and I said, give me some of those gloves. Those gloves really help.
Yeah.
An old fat man, trying to bend over and. But anyway, are you ready, Kyle? Are you done? What?
I'm working on it. So I
God,
don't
I thought
just
you were
relax.
prepared.
Hey, you need to relax. I'm not prepared this time. I told you. We told you that. So it says
Camera
it's
view
created.
different?
It says it's created by David Filoni, which we know, but it doesn't say who the directors are this time.
I did it. I
Yeah.
directed
Okay.
it.
Here we go. Wait. Here it is. Shadows of Tantiss was directed by Stuart Lee, written by Matt Michnovetz, which he's been writing quite a bit. Story editor is him as well. Okay. So they've used some themes in this episode written by John Williams, but the rest of the stuff is written by Kevin Kiner and Sean Kiner and Don Kiner. I think the stuff they've written by John Williams is probably the Emperor March that he comes in and stuff like that. Which that's spoiler. All right, so Brad D. Baker is the voice of all the clones.
Oh no, Crosshair comes around. That's all.
In our Omega, which there is no Crosshair in episode 2, Scott. So just be aware. But he's in 3, I believe. We'll see. Omega is Michelle Yang.
What episode was I watching? She was talking to him and telling him about the dog.
Episode 1. Episode 1. Okay. All right, so here we go. Here's the listing of all the other actors and stuff. We have Batcher, which is the one of the dogs that you were referring to, Rick or Scott. Commander Scorch, which is, like I've told Rick, he's one of the guys that has the blue light lens on his lights, but those
are cool.
He's one of the them in charge.
Got like
all clone troopers, of course, still Brad D. Bradley Baker. Jimmi Simpson is Dr. Royce Hemlock. Keisha Castle-Houghs, Emerie Karr. Of course, they brought back Ian McDiarmid to play the voice of Emperor Palpatine, which he's going to be at our Comic-Con this.
Yeah, but you got to pay $80 to get a signature.
Yeah, you do, and you got to pay.
What kind of shit is that?
It's like $45 just to get into the door, I think.
Yeah,
get to see the whole thing anyway. But Gwendoline Yeo is Nala Se. Ben Diskin plays 2 different stormtroopers. He plays one of the pilots. David Acord is another one, and David Collins is a 3rd stormtrooper. So we've got that for our cast in our directors, and we're gonna do a commercial since we got Scott here and he loves commercials. And all Scott has to do is take his hat off, and we can do the commercial.
Really?
And now, a word from our sponsors. Does your bald head take a beating from shaving, the sun, and all of the things Mother Nature throws your way? Do ladies look at your dry, sunburnt head and cringe? Well, guys, there's a new product out there in the head care market that promises to rock your head. I mean dome. Looks soft, clean, and touchable, and it's trending #1 through social media and on YouTube. Introducing Dome Armor. It conditions with moisturizers like coconut oil and shea butter, protects with sunscreen up to SPF 45, and enhances your already sexy dome into an irresistible hands-on experience. Keep your dome safe and protected. Get Dome Armor, now available in fresh bacon scent. Sure to get the ladies to come running in fine stores like Walmart and Lowe's. Oh, and for those still struggling with minor hair loss, try Growgain. This product will refresh, revitalize, and regrow hair on your dome.
Yeah, so phase 1 is me, phase 2 Scott, and then Rick's the Rick's is what is the final results with Dome Armor. That's what you get.
Yeah, I got some Growgain on here. It works. Look at that.
Wow, you happy?
Yeah, I got that Growgain, man. It's working.
Working all over the place.
I got sides, flat sides on the top. Look at that.
Look at that Growgain, man. It worked.
You got a true comb over.
Yeah. Well, it's probably his teacher look.
That's his set. Yeah, that's a non-orange Trump right there.
Yeah. All right. So today we're talking about the Bad Batch Season 3, Episode 3, Shadows of Tantiss. Tantiss. Episode originally aired on Wednesday, February 21st. It was a shorter episode. Let's see. It looks like it was 24 minutes and 40 seconds long, and we're still dealing with the timeline between 18 and 19 before the Battle of Yavin. As always, Battle of Yavin is when the first Death Star blew up. Which means, Scott, it's time to grab your favorite beverage, pull up a chair, and join us in the Rebel Alliance briefing room. Yay!
So BBY.
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 Before the Battle of Yavin.
Okay.
Yay.
That's the only thing I learned in the last year.
Yeah, right. I've told you much more than that. Okay, so we start the episode out. Emerie Karr visits Omega in her cell or escorts her out to do the routine shift work that she does on the planet of Wayland. Clone commandos, TK troopers, science division personnel all walk through the corridors like normal. And inmates are marched into a cylindrical chamber. Inside, blood donation is being given. Yep, this is the right episode. Omega notices an unusually large presence of soldiers. And Omega asks why. Karr says they will be informed later. Dr. Royce, Hemlock, and Nala Se enter the unit, and Hemlock informs them that an unexpected visitor is coming to see them. And Nala Se, oh, who could that be?
That had been.
It's Boba Fett. It's Boba Fett's coming. Yeah.
That had been done. All those two, David, talking about that.
It's Boba Fett. No. Darth Vader. Darth Vader's going to kill them all. Yeah. You guys suck. We don't like your work. Wow, wow, wow.
That's who I thought it was Vader.
Yeah.
That'd been cool.
That's what I was thinking too when I first heard it. He orders Karr to oversee Nala Se's laboratory in her absence. When Nala Se offers to oversee the latest test results after the visit, Hemlock reassures Nala Se that Karr is very capable of handling all the matters herself.
Oh, yeah, I remember this. Yeah, because she was with her. And she didn't need her blood tested or something like that. And she had to race over to the machine. Okay, I got it.
No, that's what happened in the previous episode. This is very similar, but it's not quite the same.
Okay.
You'll see. When she offers, the clone commando informs Hemlock that the shuttle has arrived. It's transmitting coordinates. It's important. Somebody's important.
It's coming.
It's Gumby.
Line up.
Hemlock sends additional Alpha starfighters to escort the shuttle to the base. They looked like they were TIE fighters to me, but they say V-wing starfighters. Nala Se nervously watches Karr carrying a tray with blood samples that includes Omega's blood to the test facility.
You notice the weather was nice too when the aircraft approached. There was no light,
and there was no fog either. It's supposed to be a foggy planet. So Nala Se is nervous that Emerie Karr has got the blood sample. When Omega is alone, Nala Se secretly warns her that she is in danger. Danger, Will Robinson, danger.
Danger, Will Robinson, danger.
She says that if Karr tests her blood sample, she needs to flee the facility before it's too late. Because if she's tested, they'll know something.
Bad stuff.
We don't know yet what that is, but I think we can assume that she has the M count. We'll see.
The metachlorians.
Yeah, the metachlorians, which is weird because she's never exhibited any force capabilities, but maybe she just doesn't know. So if you don't know that you can do the force, do you actually do the force stuff? Or does somebody have to tell you that, oh, you got metachlorian count, so you should be doing force stuff? Is that how it happens? I don't know. Da, 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 da. And then Omega says, "But is that why you've been destroying my blood samples? Because this danger?" And Nala says, "Yes," in a very quiet voice that we can barely understand. She tells Omega that it's related to a secret Imperial project. As the Imperials end their conversation, Nalase tells Omega to go to the lab and retrieve her data pad in order to escape the Imperial facility. She tells her to flee aboard a shuttle, and then Nalase leaves with Hemlock.
But before that, she starts to say what it was called. She says Operation.
Yeah, she doesn't say what the name is.
And left us hanging.
She doesn't say what the name is, but we find out what it is later in the episode.
Take
Very
me back.
soon.
Spoiler.
Very, very soon we find out. So Nalase walks past several clone commandos and stormtroopers. After passing through the security screening, she enters the blood testing facility and asks Karr about the VIP visitors. Karr replies that the IR important thing is not to ask any questions. When Omega feigns sickness, Karr allows her to take leave of her duties and rest. Omega discreetly steals a data pad and slips away. In space, a shuttle and V-Wing escorts exit hyperspace. The fighters escort the shuttle to the Wayland facility, and Hemlock awaits with an honor guard of stormtroopers. Which that's a pretty big honor guard of stormtroopers. That's probably a couple hundred of them, right?
Yeah.
The two Emperor Royal Guards in the red plastic coats.
Mm-hmm.
I always thought that was funny because they look like they're just latex coats.
Yeah.
Like some
Look like they got a condom
would have on. Some sex worker would have on. They exit the shuttle, followed by Emperor Palpatine himself. Oh, he's the guy.
Dun, 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 dun.
Hemlock greets the Emperor, who is eager to learn about the progress of his research inside the facility. Hemlock tells the Emperor that they have quadrupled their objectives in record time. 2 clone commandos let them into a larger facility. Hemlock tells the Emperor that their exotic matters facility has expanded, providing alterations and testing of much larger assets. The Emperor says that he is in need of a much grander design, and that's what he is here to discuss. Project Necromancer.
What?
Necromancer.
Neck as an NECK.
Yeah, there's in
that's what you NECROMANCER.
Yeah, so neck, what Scott was referring to is necrophilia, which is you like to have sex with dead people. That's where that comes from. And necromancer, if you remember from the
with your uncle's business.
Yeah.
No. a necromancer is not quite the same. My uncle's business was a little different than that.
No, but that's why you never took me up there since I was a necrophiliac.
You've been in there before. Weirdo. That's just nobody's been downstairs as far as at least I haven't, because I don't want to go downstairs where the bodies are.
Are you scared?
I'm scared. They're gonna wake up and start talking to me or something. I don't like it.
That'd be so cool.
Anyway, necromancer is referred to in the movies and this animated show and a couple other shows too. It is assumed, and we find out officially for the first time in this episode throughout the entire Star Wars series, that necromancer is what Palpatine used to come back to life in the future. The idea is they made a clone of him and they're looking for a way to insert the midichlorian accounts so that they can have a true clone of Emperor Palpatine. All right.
So they need somebody with midichlorians to take their midichlorians.
Yeah, they want a bad Emperor.
Because you can't genetically duplicate midichlorian.
Correct. No. You can, but it's very diminished. Very, very diminished. It'll I think they talk about it here, I think, in the episode a little bit too.
Oh my god, doggy, stop.
So meanwhile, Omega uses a data pad to enter a turbo lift, and a droid tries to enter the lift with her, one of those little mouse droids, and she kicks it out. Get out of there. This is a single, not a double. He enters the detention block and speaks with Crosshair. When he asks what if she found a weak point, Omega says she is improvising and offers to explain later. Improvising? Crosshair doesn't like improvising because she convinces Crosshair to distract the stormtroopers, and she unlocks his cell with the data pad. Crosshair fights with the stormtroopers and uses him. Fights the first stormtrooper and uses him as shield as the second stormtrooper kills him. He then sounds the second stormtrooper with his blaster, and Crosshair locks the guards in his cell as they exit the detention block.
So was he not as drugged up or something?
Not as much, no. They're not drugging him as much because he's kind of being cooperative.
Owing the line.
He was resting.
Hemlock has already declared him as not important, really, so they don't care about him as much. They're still testing their blood, but he's not important. Blah blah blah.
What was behind all the lasers in that vault type room?
What?
You know when Hemlock and Alien walk through the laser thing, the energy. Is that where that program's at?
Yes. Yes. Omega explains that Nala Se told her to escape using her data pad to access the base and find the shuttle. Outside the detention block, they hide from two passing stormtroopers who talk about the Emperor's visit. Crosshair is pessimistic about their chances to escape. He doesn't think they're going to happen. It's going to happen. Omega notices Crosshair is nervous and consults him a little bit and puts the data pad on the terminal and tries to find a shuttle at the Wayland facility. And she finds out they're all grounded because, the secret visitor security has grounded all shuttles. She decides to steal the only one that's not grounded, which is the Emperor's shuttle.
She steals the Emperor's shuttle.
When Crosshair points out that it's too well guarded, Omega suggests using the down shuttle that crashed outside when she first arrived many months ago. She proposes using the comm in the shuttle to contact Hunter and Wrecker, and Crosshair lets Omega take the lead. Oh, she's come up with a good plan, he thinks. Inside the vault where Scott says the project is, Hemlock shows Palpatine's several specimens. We don't really get to see the specimens, we just see him looking at the specimens, which are stored in special tanks. Hemlock hopes to conduct a successful M-count replication with time and additional resources. And Palpatine believes that Project Necromancer is necessary to secure the future of the Empire and promises Hemlock any resource he needs. All resources are at your disposal.
Like check.
Exactly. Everything. You're the man. We don't care. You're the man. You get whatever you want. Elsewhere, Karr visits Omega's cell only to find it empty, and she sighs. Dang it, Omega. What are you doing? Meanwhile, Omega breaks into the Lorca Hound's kennel, and Crosshair takes out K9X1 with his blasters. Omega tells Crosshair they will use the kennel chute to escape outside. She explains that it is protected by a timed ray shield and that they will have to move fast. Karr confronts the two in the kennel, and Crosshair points his blaster at her despite Omega's pleas. Karr tells them that they are not thinking clearly and offers to drop the matter if they surrender. But why? Why would they surrender now? They're going to be punished, right? Why would they surrender? Omega refuses to be trapped on Wayland as a prisoner and asks Karr to join them. Karr tries to convince Omega not to escape, but Crosshair stuns her anyway. Phew! Stuns her. Before leaving, the Empire warns Hemlock to keep Wayland facility secret and secure since those within the Empire hierarchy will consider his work an abomination.
Abomination.
Because he's trying to bring people back from the dead. Oh,
So did that nurse type person ever work with glasses? The other guy?
We don't know.
Heck,
That was after that was
We don't know. So
like the guy that was after Grogu.
oh,
yeah,
okay.
so the reanimating a body thing, that's a force thing. It's a dark force thing. So someone who is one with the force has to instigate the transfer of the body and stuff like that. Anyway, Hemlock also tells the Emperor his ambitions of ascending to the position of Minister of Sciences, which would get him oversight over all Imperial science divisions. The Emperor says that this will happen in due course before leaving and getting ready to walk onto his shuttle. But wait a minute. Oh, she's not stealing the shuttle. After the Emperor leaves, a clone commando informs Hemlock that Omega and Crosshair are missing and the alarm was triggered in the Lorca's kennel. Hemlock orders the kennel chutes sealed off. Wait, Crosshair and Omega are in there, but they barely escape as the shields come down behind them as they run faster and faster through the tunnel. Outside, Crosshair asks Omega if she knows the direction of the shuttle, and Omega admits, I don't know. I was in a cell like you. How would I know? But she suggests they follow the flight path of the departing Imperial shuttle.
Oh.
Makes sense, right? Inside the kennels, Hemlock and the clone commandos find Karr, who tell them Omega has attained a data pad somehow and used it to escape with Crosshair through the chutes. Hemlock immediately dispatches the rest of the Lorca hounds, and the patrols track down those fugitives. When Karr expresses concern that the Lorcas will kill Crosshair and Omega, he responds that they are escapees, and that time for harsh measures is over. Because we don't have any use for them anyway.
They're expendable now.
They're expendable. Because, like I said, he thinks Crosshair is not useful, and Omega is just there for Nala Se. After dismissing Karr, Hemlock questions Nala Se about Omega's escape, and Nala Se professes loyalty to Hemlock but does not believe her, and he orders her clone commandos to secure her in a cell instead of her lab. So she's being locked up and punished.
She says, I was at your side the whole time.
Yeah. Imperial stormtroopers and transport shuttles are dispatched to hunt down the fugitives. Omega uses the data pad to guide their way through the jungle, which I guess it has a map on it. I don't know. It's got Google Maps. She trips over a branch. and Crosshair helps her up. They are confronted by a hulking Dyrax, which is some black, weird, tall, huge creature, right? Let's see what that is. I got a little description here. Dyrax. Okay, stop jumping around. Dyraxes were a type of huge humanoid-shaped predator found in the jungles of planet Wayland. They possess glowing red eyes and lupine features. Round 18 battle you and the clones Omega and Crosshair encountered one. They're the only ones that have really survived, it says here, one of those creatures, because they're so tough. And it looks like a miniature Godzilla kind of thing or something. Human-sized Godzilla thing.
There goes Tokyo. Godzilla.
Yeah,
It doesn't brush its teeth either. That's why it's so mean.
exactly. The Dyrax, but the Lorca hounds begin attacking the creature. The clones take the opportunity to escape and locate the downed shuttle. Omega tries to power up the ship, but finds that its comms are dead. Dang it, how are we going to contact Hunter? Meanwhile, Karr examines the blood samples, including Omega's, and a Stormtrooper pilot reports an unusual surge in Sector 4. Omega is despondent, but Crosshair reassures her that they have got this far and asks if she is familiar with Plan 72. She says, of course. I was told by what's his name that's dead now to memorize all of our plans. The Row class shuttle circles nearby, and the search party has located them, and they start landing to come in and attack them and find them. The clone commandos tell the troopers to find the prisoners, and they start going down grappling hooks, and Crosshair shoots them and only takes out a few. Omega approaches the grappling cable and goes back up into the shuttle, which is empty now, except for a few troopers. One is the pilot. Omega approaches the grappling. The Lorca hounds freed, and Batcher attacks the stormtroopers as Omega stuns the soldier inside the shuttle. She's happy to see Batcher and tells her to stay close. Crosshair takes out the clone commandos and a few troopers in hand-to-hand combat. And Omega takes the lift up to the pilot's quarters and stuns the pilot. She shoots at stormtroopers within the ship's weapons and dispatches the landing ramp for Crosshair to board the shuttle. She says, pew, 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 pew. Look, now Scott's crooked. So that was one of our technical issues earlier. My video was crooked. Where are we at? Crosshair. Omega Crosshair jumps into the ramp and boards the shuttle and throws the pilot out of the cockpit, out on the ground. He says, "Get out of here, buddy."
Piece of trash.
That's right. A stormtrooper informs the facility that a shuttle has been hijacked and stolen by the fugitives.
No.
Imperial V-wing starfighters are dispatched after the stolen shuttle. Omega signals. At Omega signal, Batcher boards the stolen shuttle after knocking down 2 stormtroopers.
Cold.
Karr discovers Omega's blood sample supports a positive M transfer count. He informs Hemlock, and Hemlock is like, wait a minute. Stand down. We need Omega alive.
This is all you get of me, so.
Okay. We're about ready to be done, though.
Okay.
She stands down. She informs Hemlock and orders the B-Wings to stand down. Omega
Love
and
you, Fred.
Crosshair escape into hyperspace.
Right.
He dismisses their escape as a
No.
minor setback and vows to use the full resources of the Empire that he now has been given by the Emperor. And we see the credits. The credits roll, Scott. Episode is over.
Awesome.
Episode is over. So, as always, we want your feedback. We want your feedback as much as possible. We want you to encourage Scott to join us more often, and Rick to join us more often, and me not to be by myself because it's boring and lonely.
Look, you have little people watching you.
Yeah. And everybody gets to see my bobbleheads today because I'm at a different angle.
Maggie, inside.
All right, so to feedback to us, you go to feedback@kylesjohansson.com on your email device.
Right, Maggie.
You can go to our website. Ooh, look at that. Did you hear that noise, guys? That's a notification saying we got a new follower on Twitter, which is at super_duper_pod, a new follower for our podcast. You can also give us feedback on the website. On the left-hand side, there's a link that takes you to a form you can fill out, and it'll come right to us. We are also on Blue Sky at Rebel Alliance Briefing Room, one word.
Hey,
and
wait,
we're on.
You need to pray. I'm getting in the car.
We're also on YouTube, where this video will be posted later. You can put comments there. So everybody, 1 second, take a little second for a prayer for Scott. Looks like he's a passenger. So
I am. Colton's driving.
Oh, that's why we're praying. I get it.
Yeah.
I don't know which way that goes. I'm not a Catholic.
No, he's a good driver.
We do pray for you. And do you have any real quick comments before you lose your signal while you're driving about the episode?
How many fish did you catch?
2.
Rick?
He's asking Rick.
How many what?
Fish did you catch?
Fish? I haven't caught any for a long time.
And what were the pictures?
The background?
Oh, that's from like 3 or 4 years ago. My background picture there? That's from several years ago. Uh-oh, he froze.
Yeah. Maybe he's talking about, did you post any pictures recently?
I think those are from, those are from Canada. Yeah, those are old. But the countdown is on. 4 months. Actually, not even 4 months now. April, May, June. Yeah, I guess it is 4 months.
Sweet. So yeah, this episode was a huge buildup of what's going to happen in the future. We kind of have a good idea now what's going to happen. Obviously, they've escaped into space now, doing the hyperspace thing, and they're going to obviously get a hold of Hunter because they're on the way. We think.
Yeah.
So they're going to meet up with him somehow, somewhere, and be fighting off Imperials the whole way, right?
Yeah. Well, and now we know. The Emperor's end game, final goal.
Yeah.
It's been implied. I mean, we've known about it for years and through implications, but now we have actual evidence.
Right. And like I said, when we were discussing the episode, that's actually the first time in any of canon that it's been officially said what it is. There was talk about it. There was, I think, in the Ray series, when he's floating around attached to whatever, he mentions necromancer or something like that. But he doesn't. It's never said for sure.
Yeah.
And I would assume the lab that we saw is what is all transferred to Exegol where in those movies. Because I would that lab does get blown up at some point. Or that planet, whatever, gets
Yeah.
blown up at some point. Um, so, and I would say maybe the storage area where a necromancer is at is deep enough in there that they was able to survive some, and they were able to get it all out. So
Possibly, yeah.
that would be my guess. But yeah,
something's going to happen to Hemlock because we don't know. He doesn't show up anywhere, does he?
um,
By name, does he?
no, I'm trying to think. Because in the Andor TV series, we see the director of Imperial Sciences. Because isn't that where what's his name, the one trooper that tries to get the girl? Isn't that where he works for us for the sciences? Maybe not. Maybe not. But we hear about the Imperial Science Division and who is in charge of it.
I think you're right, but it's not Hemlock, so we know something's going to happen to him.
Yeah, I don't think it is either. I'm sure he gets killed in some fashion. That would be my hope, but we never know.
Yeah.
Maybe he's like on Star Trek. They have a dark forces team that's like so secret that nobody knows about him.
Could be.
Maybe he turns into that or something. Some sort of so secret that he's even he could be alive, but nobody knows because he's been erased from every book in existence, right?
True.
So we'll find out. I'm sure they might skip an episode where they don't meet Hunter first, but I'm sure it's coming real soon. It's either the next episode or the episode after that.
Yeah, I would guess that too. Yeah, with Echo and Rex. And do you possibly think there's going to be some crossover with Ahsoka possibly with this?
I don't know. You would think there is. But this is 18 before the Battle of Yavin, and Ahsoka takes place 9 or 10 after the Battle of Yavin. Most of what we see, she is still around because she was around in the Clone Wars, right?
Yeah.
But she goes into exile or something weird.
Yeah. It would be kind of cool if there would be some kind of like, cameo or some kind of thing like that.
It would be.
I think we'll see Darth. I think we'll see Darth Vader sometime. I don't think it'll be for much, but I think we'll see him for something.
Yeah. He'll be around there somewhere.
Probably the last or next to last episodes or so, I think. Because something's got to happen to the Emperor somehow. I don't know.
Well, I mean, in the episode, he's got the dark cloak, but he's all wrinkled and stuff.
Yeah.
Which means he's already seen the events of episode 3. Right? Isn't episode 3 where Windu goes out the window?
Yeah.
That's the time when he turns wrinkly. And there is time between that because we know he goes to the big council chamber with all the pods after he's been wrinkled, and says he's been disfigured by the Jedi and they're the enemies of the state now, and there's a big speech happening in the background.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. Actually, there's 12 episodes left, right? You said there were 15 total, so this is 3. So there's gonna be a lot going on. You figure about half an hour, roughly each episode. We got about 6 hours left.
Yep. So I picked the wrong one, but the Phantom Menace is the first in the prequels, and it's 32 before the Battle of Yavin. And the one we're talking about, it doesn't list it. Oh, there it is. So it actually is. So the Revenge of the Sith is the last one of the prequels, and it takes place around the same time, 19 before the Battle of Yavin. So it's very possible that characters from that could show up, including
Yoda.
Could see Darth Vader, like you said. We could see more Emperor, of course.
It's gonna be exciting. New season, final season, a lot of stuff going on.
Makes you wonder, though. It makes you wonder if they survive the entire time and live on the deserted island planet or whatever.
Yeah.
The Gilligan's Island planet.
Yeah.
Where nobody can get to it or figure out where it is.
Or maybe it's a Rogue One and none of them make it.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering too. I mean, obviously we would like to think that they live their life out on this planet, but we also know that clone troopers have an accelerated life expectancy because they want them to have their fullest lifetime during as a soldier, and then they retire and they really don't have any use for them after they retire. So they die out.
This is the only place that we know of Omega too, right? I mean, she doesn't show up in anything else, does she? So kind of like she maybe she like ends it all to like, destroy the Emperor or something, like in a glory of goes down in a blaze of glory kind of thing. So
you wanna hear my theory about that?
Sure, go for it, man.
My theory is she sacrifices herself and turns herself into the Emperor to save the rest of the crew. Because we know that Project Necromancer actually works in some fashion.
True.
And at this current time, it doesn't work because nobody has, they haven't been able to find the M count. How do they find the M count? Maybe Nala Se cooperates and actually shows how they did it, but I'm willing to bet they're going to go with the easier path of Omega, because like you said, we never see her ever again. There's no Omega in any of the movies or anything. In Ahsoka, none of it. She's not there anywhere.
Good theory,
I don't
man.
know. I think that's what's going to happen is to save the team from getting caught on that island of Pabu, she turns herself in, and the Empire, of course, they
give
got
up
what they want on finding their stuff.
Yeah, they got what they want at that point, so all the rest of the stuff is irrelevant then. So that's interesting. That's a solid prediction, man.
I think that's what's going to happen, and I challenge anybody to give us some feedback with something different.
Yeah,
we'll discuss it all. We'll discuss all of it in future episodes.
That's solid, dude. That's a little deeper than what I was going, but all right.
Because like you said, she doesn't exist anywhere else. It's only in this series that she exists in, and we also know that Hunter and Wrecker don't exist anywhere else either.
True.
They existed in the Clone Wars animated series, but they split off onto this series. Outside of that show, they've never existed. We know that Rex and Echo exist in the Rebels series, because when Echo's off doing his thing, they show that stuff in the Rebels show. It's what happens there, but that actually happened before the show happened before this Bad Batch, so they're just filling gaps there. But anyway, Echo does exist later.
Let's hear what everybody else has got. I'm all for it, man. That's what predictions are about. And makes you start thinking about, okay, now what am I looking for? What did I miss?
That's right. That's right. So let's go ahead and end this now and stop boring people if they're bored. And we'll get the outro going, and we look forward to seeing you guys next week when a new episode comes out on Wednesday.
Yes.
The Rebel Alliance Briefing Room.
Thank you for listening to the Rebel Alliance Briefing Room podcast. Please visit our website where you can play current and past episodes. That's https://RABR.KyleJohansson.us. That's RABR.KAILEJOHANSON.US.
Jet up there?
On the left-hand side is a navigation menu. You can use this to learn how to load the Rebel Alliance Briefing Room podcast on your Android or Apple phone and tablet. And we have direct links to our podcast on Apple and Google Podcasts. Please participate by connecting to our social media, answering questions of the week, or submitting feedback directly from the site. Again, all of these are available at the Rebel Alliance Briefing Room website at RABR.KAILEJOHANSEN.US. This podcast in no way is approved, sponsored, or owned by Lucasfilms Ltd., Disney, Disney Plus, or any of its subsidiaries. All opinions are solely owned by Kyle and or Scott, and in no way express the views or opinions of their past or present employers. Views and opinions are not supported or restricted by Lucasfilms Ltd., Disney, Disney Plus, or any of its subsidiaries. Any rebroadcast, reproduction, or any or other use of this podcast and its affiliate sites without consent of Super Duper Podcast Network and its host is prohibited.
Not at all. Yep.
I am Kyle Johansson, and this is Andrew Scott Sutton.
It's Rick.
Say goodbye now.
That's right. And Rick would never say anything bad about his work at all either. So he's included in that. He's always good to his work and loyal and kind to them.
Definitely kind.
Yeah. Anything kind. All right. So we'll see you next week.
Adios.
Stop the recording.